Hi guys, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. This video is about encapsulation and abstraction, and the first thing that we're going to get into is encapsulation. So basically this is the kind of part 3 to my object-oriented programming series, and this will probably be like the last one because there are only 4 kind of concepts in object-oriented programming, and this will cover the last 2. So we'll start with encapsulation. So encapsulation basically is kind of the idea that these methods and variables are kind of wrapped together in this like class, and it's kind of just like put together like that. So the methods can access the variables in here and stuff like that. And I can also limit the access that I give a user. So I can make my integers private so that they can't really mess with it, and I'm adding these getters and setters, which are methods, which basically have the same thing as saying like an object.height equals something, but I can also limit what they can set height to, so I'm not allowing direct access to my variable. Encapsulation is kind of like in a capsule, so this whole thing would be kind of like a capsule with the variables and the methods, and I can kind of limit access when I want to this capsule. Moving on to abstraction. This is a bit more complex and it'll take a little bit more explaining. So abstraction. There can be abstract methods and abstract classes. So we'll start with the abstract methods. So you kind of need to know inheritance for this. So if you have a class and this class has an abstract method inside of it, then what you would need to do is you would need to have a child of this class. In the child class, you would implement this method. So in the parent class, you wouldn't really make it fully concrete yet. You wouldn't put anything within those curly brackets, but you would just make it there so that a child would need to put that there. So the child needs to have that method in there. And also one thing to know is that if you have an abstract method in a class, that class needs to be abstract. And what an abstract class is, so the second thing is an abstract class. Abstract classes basically just means that in the abstract class there can be methods that are not abstract, and there can also be methods that are abstract. An abstract class can't be kind of accessed by an object, and it needs a child class in order to access it. Alright, so ignoring what's on my screen right now, having an abstract method in a not abstract class would mean if you made an object of that class, then it would be really confusing, because if you try to access that method, it's really not implemented yet and there's nothing there, so that would throw you an error for sure, and yeah, that just wouldn't make sense. So abstract methods need to be in abstract classes, and let's just look at an example right now. So I have this shape, and it's just shape. So this is my abstract class, and I have these abstract methods within this abstract class, and so I have area and perimeter. So this means that any child class of shape needs to have area and perimeter, and that kind of makes sense because it's a shape, so it has an area and a perimeter. And so I've created this circle, and circle will inherit from shape, so I'm using the extends keyword, and it's throwing me an error. So what it's saying is basically it needs area and perimeter. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm saying that all of the shapes, or all of the child classes of shape, will need to have a perimeter and an area. Okay, so I figured I need to implement the one that I extend, like that I inherited from shape. So it can't have like different parameters, and it needs to be kind of the same thing with like the void and everything. So that's what I did, and I'm basically printing out for the perimeter of a circle, it's 2 pi r. So that's kind of what I did. I'm just putting 3.14 for pi, and then for the area, it's pi r squared. And then that's what I'm doing there, and you can see that the error went away because it's happy because I've implemented the perimeter and area that I've inherited from shape. If I make the main method and then test that out, alright, so I've created this object of circle and I'm going to set the R to, let's just say the radius is like 2 or something, and then we are going to use this. So object dot perimeter, object dot area. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so 2 squared and 2 times 2 is both 4, and then just multiply by 3.14 for both, and that means that both of them are the same thing. Yay! Fun. So let's try making an object of shape. So it's basically saying it cannot instantiate the type shape because it is abstract and it cannot do that. Alright, so that's basically encapsulation and abstraction in Java. Abstraction is useful because for abstract classes, it's like a template, or it's like kind of dictating what the child needs to do, and it's an idea until the type or the child or subclass puts that into kind of reality and makes it concrete, and you can't access it directly. It's another way of kind of like hiding the background, but just making the child accessible, and making the parent kind of not. And you can use abstract methods because it's kind of saying that this needs to be here, and yeah, it's an idea until you put it into effect. So like abstract classes and methods, I hope you learned more about them and encapsulation, and hopefully this was an educational video for you. If you did like it, press the thumbs up on this video, give me a like, and consider subscribing for more content just like this, and comment down below any feedback or questions you guys might have for me. I will see you guys again next week with a brand new video. Bye!